all going, everyone? Sanju Uchiha here. Welcome back to the channel, and I hope everyone's having a great day, because today we'll be talking about Rock Lee. Of course, I know I've been MIA for the most part for the last, week and a half, 2 weeks, but I am back from the dead, and what better way to, make a little return than talk about a fan favorite character, Rock Lee. Of course, be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. This video may or may not contain spoilers for the Boruto manga, but of course it'll more likely lean towards containing spoilers for the manga, so hey! Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Let's get right into it. So, Rock Lee. I want to try and talk about Rock Lee and the hype and his potential return to the Boruto era from a production standpoint and in-universe standpoint, in terms of why people actually want to see him return. I wouldn't really call it a similar video, but I guess similar enough. I did do a video on Konohamaru. I think that was the last video I did before this, so you can always check that out, where I talk about his involvement in the story going forward. And I guess this video kinda is the same thing, plus a little sugar, a little spice added here and there. So yeah, let's get into it. So Rock Lee, why people are so hype about seeing him in the Boruto era? What makes him so special? So let's kind of talk about it from the in-universe perspective. Or even from a production, both from the production and in-universe perspective, Rock Lee, as we know it, kind of makes up that group of characters from part 2 or Naruto Shippuden that did not get a lot of screen time. They were pretty much cast to the wayside, and most of their highlights, are what makes them fan favorite characters, would have been highlighted or would have come from part 1, the original Naruto, the original 220 episode run of the anime, or part 1 of the manga, which goes up to chapter 230 or 240, give or take. So yeah, most of the hype and the love for this character actually comes from part 1 of Naruto, and he has not had the highlight, or he's had some moments in Shippuden, well, and it's even a stretch to even call it moments, like, kicking Madara in half. So yeah, there's that. But apart from that, he hasn't had much screen time. So this, of course, is actually factoring into why people actually want to see Rock Lee make a return in the Boruto era, or part 3, as I like to call it. Of course, in universe, there's one thing I think people like about Rock Lee, and it feels like Rock Lee, based on his backstory and his character and everything that actually happened, and what we even saw happen between Might Guy and Madara, 8 Gates versus 10 Tails Jinchuriki, I feel like Rock Lee and the potential for his character essentially became what persons wanted for Naruto in the end. And what I mean by that is just that it's not black and white, but Naruto's character towards the end kind of took a debatable shift for the worse, in the sense that the thing that made him special, that whole underdog, the whole, hard work pays off, it kind of became debatable if characters like Neji were even wrong in the debate about, your destiny and everything. And it was a whole I'm tempted to say it was a big deal for characters, or for us, when we found out that Naruto was a reincarnation of, the Sage of Six Paths' son, Ashura. So yeah, it was a kind of hot topic, in terms of if it really and truly ruined Naruto's character. I mean, Naruto, the child of prophecy, the reincarnation of Ashura. He's a Uzumaki, so it kind of dirtied or muddied the whole concept of him being an underdog in the first place. And I say it's kind of in the gray era. As I said, you still can't take away that Naruto put in the effort to master all the assets or resources he had at his disposal. But I think with Rock Lee, he became the true embodiment, if you get what I mean, of the concept that they were pushing with Naruto. And I think the fact that he didn't get the spotlight like that in Naruto Shippuden, that explains the hype. Combining these things, it explains the hype and the expectations to see him in the Boruto era. And I think fans kind of look at it as an opportunity for characters that didn't get a lot of shine in part two to actually get that shine now in part three, the Boruto era. All in all, the Boruto era, based on writer statements, is not going to be as long as the whole Naruto story as parts one and two. So we kind of have limited time. So I think taking that into consideration, and I guess the emotional connection that persons actually have with Rock Lee as a character, or at least what his character represents, I think that kind of explains why they want to see Rock Lee more so than any other character from Naruto's generation. Well, minus Naruto and Sasuke, actually take place and get some screen time in Boruto. Because honestly, emotional connection between I'd say us as readers or watchers or fans, and between us as fans and the character is kind of essential for us to kind of say, oh, X and Y, we want to see X and Y character. So really and truly, I think that is the reason why we really and truly need or want to see Rock Lee make an appearance. Of course, we have the more superficial reasons. Well, debatably superficial. He is, all things considered, the third strongest person in Konoha if he releases the 8 gates. And even in an in-universe perspective, where we have all these scientific ninja tools, where a lot of the gimmick, or a major gimmick, a recurring gimmick, is the ability to absorb ninjutsu, absorb chakra, etc., etc. It kind of plays on the whole gimmick that taijutsu will reign supreme. It's similar to what was being built up towards the end of Naruto, where the 10 tails Jinchuriki and then the 6 paths characters like regular ninjutsu couldn't actually affect them. You either needed taijutsu or siege, or natural enhanced ninjutsu, senjutsu. Yeah. Let me use the in-universe concepts here. Senjutsu. So yeah, of course, apart from our whole emotional connection, the fact that he didn't get screen time, Rock Lee, of course, would actually be a good counter to any Kara member of Tsutsuki that would be like immune to that ninjutsu, or has some gimmick just like like Momoshiki, or has a karma seal. So it would honestly actually work out, and him being there would be an essential or a big asset in any battle he goes up against. Of course, I'm interested to see Rock Lee come in and play a major part. Probably not before the time skip, if I'm being honest, because I kind of expect the time skip to happen this year. Probably might be the last chapter of this year. I don't think any earlier than that. And the time between now and the time skip, I think it should really and truly focus on establishing motivations for our characters that we have now, because at this moment it's their show and the current set of antagonists. And then once the time skip comes and all these motivations and emotional connections between these characters have been established, then fine, we can bring in characters like Rock Lee, who have already had a backstory and some level of development already, because we don't want to take away from the new cast. We want to kind of balance it out, like introducing Gohan, like I've said in previous videos, and balancing him out between balancing it out between him and like characters like Goku and previous characters like Piccolo. So yeah, that's really and truly it. But yeah, that should be it. Between the fact that he didn't really have much screen time, and the fact that he embodies more so of what people wanted in Naruto, more so than Naruto. Not that Naruto hasn't been a great character, quote unquote. He kind of fell into a gray area towards the end, and I think from start to finish, characters like Might Guy and Rock Lee embodied what Naruto was trying to represent, the whole underdog mentality or situation more so. It embodied that better than Naruto Uzumaki, I'd say. And all that emotional connection and potential in his character kind of equals we want Rock Lee in part 3. That and the whole hype of the 8 gifts that we got with, my guy from versus Madara. So yeah. But anyway, let me know what you think. I feel like I haven't done this a video in forever. So yeah, I kind of felt like I might be all over the place with this one. But I hope everyone's having a great day. Let me know what you think. What are your expectations for Rock Lee, and when do you think they might, bring him back into the series? But yeah, that's all I have for this one. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe, people. And I'll see you in the next one. Wow.